So I want to introduce our speaker here for our house. He has graciously accepted to come to our house and present over a lecture and do kirtan, and thank you Prabhu for coming. I just want to give a small introduction about him. He is Madanagopala Dasa, joined in ISKCON in 1991 in Nairobi, Kenya. He has served over the years as Education and Temple Management Director at ISKCON of New Jersey. He currently coordinates the New Jersey Project Advisory Committee, which is working towards building a large Vedic-style historic ISKCON temple, the first of its kind in the New York, New Jersey area. He is the graduate of GBC College of Leadership and currently serves as a North American co-director of ISKCON Communications. He lives in New Jersey with his wife Manasi Gangadevi Dasi and son Madhav. He also works as an IT manager at Global Hedge Fund and now serving as a Diksha Guru in ISKCON. Thank you, Prabhu, for coming. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you all very much for so warmly welcoming me into your family of the San Diego Bhakti Vrinda. It's really nice to be here. It's my first time in this circle of devotees. But I hope that I can be of some service to share some things about the glory of the holy name today. So I think we can dive right into it. How many devotees here are doing Japa every day? Japa? Okay. How many are not doing Japa every day? That's everyone else, right? Just a few. Okay. So from today, everyone should start doing Japa every day. Okay? Everybody's hand should be up tomorrow when we ask the same question. Okay. So, Japa is very easy to do, and this is something that, who tells us this is the most important kind of sacrifice? Japa. Krishna. Krishna, where? Bhagavad Gita, that's correct. So we'll do one verse from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna highlights Japa specifically. Not just Harinam, not just the name, but Japa specifically. So we'll do this, right? So repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 You can repeat after me. This is Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse number 25. Maharshinam Bhruguraham.
Maharshinam Bhriguraham.
Giramasmyaikam aksharam.
Giramasmyaikam aksharam.
Yajnanam japayagyosmi.
Yajnanam japayagyosmi.
Stavaranam Himalaya.
Sadharanam Himalaya.
Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, Yajna, I am the chanting of holy names, Japa. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas. Just like Himalayas are the most immovable things, similarly, the greatest sacrifice. You know, there's different kind of yajnas you can do. Krishna says, I am that Japa. So when we do Japa, not only is Krishna in his holy name, which we already know, but even the act of Japa itself, Krishna says, I am that sacrifice. Double. Isn't it nice? So how can we not embrace Krishna every day by doing this double access of the Lord? The Prabhupada explains, of all sacrifices, the chanting of Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
is the purest representation of Krishna. Purest. It is the simplest and the purest. It's very nice. The question is not, does God exist? That's not the real question to ask. The question to ask is God available? Is God accessible? Because if he's not available or accessible, he might as well not exist. His existence is not the issue. Accessibility is the issue. And Krishna has made it amply clear in so many verses that by chanting my name, I am immediately available because I am the name. How many energies or potencies has Krishna invested in his names? You know, how many? How many of his how many energies? He has so many potencies and powers, right? How many of his potencies has he put in his holy name? Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Nija Sarva Shakti. Sarva Shakti means what? All Shaktis.
Sarva.
All, every single one of Krishna's Shaktis is his holy name. Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. That means there is no Shakti of Krishna that is not there in his name. Understand? Not that out of 6, only 3 or 4 are there. No, all of them. Every single one. His beauty, his name, his form, his quality, his passion, his sweetness, his humor, everything is in his holy name. That's important. So accessibility of Krishna, you see, God is so lenient. He's so lenient and he makes himself so amply available through his holy name. All we have to do is chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. We have access to Krishna. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nama Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smarana Kala. That means there is no hard and fast rules. Etadrishi, right? Bhagavan Mamapi. Then what is the last line?
Durdaivam.
Durdaivam Idrisham Ihajani Na Anuraga. Durdaivam means look at my gross misfortune, my tragic bad luck. Durdaivam. What is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying and crying about? What is my bad luck? Na Anuraga. Even though you have all the powers in the holy name and there are no hard and fast rules, still I have no anuraga. I have no affection. I have no love. I have no attraction. I have no attraction. See? So, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. So he's crying about our plight. So we have to not just know theoretically, but we have to really connect and develop the anuraga that he's crying for. Okay? So that's what we're going to aim to do. When we chant japa, we want to do with anuraga, with some affection. Okay? So the holy name of Krishna is available in 2 ways. Sankirtan. Srila Prabhupada started this entire global movement simply by going to a public place, Tompkins Square Park in New York, and simply singing Hare Krishna. Gradually, one by one, the souls came and became his followers, attracted by this magical sound. And now we have this enormous movement all over the world. And then Srila Prabhupada also taught us how to do japa. So anybody not have beads, if you don't have beads, get them. I think we can get them from our temple here in San Diego. So these are the Tulsi beads. These are made of Tulsi wood, the 108 beads. You can see this picture of Prabhupada is doing japa, he's showing us how to do it. But he says a very interesting thing. He says 90% of our spiritual progress depends upon this one instruction of daily chanting our japa while trying to avoid offenses. How many offenses are there? 10. 10 offenses, right? So we try to avoid offenses and you do daily japa. So every day we should do japa. If you've never done daily japa before, start today. It doesn't cost anything. You don't even need beads. If you have beads, it's nice, but if you don't have, you can just do japa on your fingers. It doesn't matter. Main thing is chanting Hare Krishna with a lot of love. Okay? Now, sometimes we go out, devotees go out, and we distribute books, and we tell them, hey, we tell them that we chant Hare Krishna. They ask you, what do you do as your process? And we tell them, we chant this Hare Krishna. We do this japa every day. And then they ask you, how does this chanting make you feel? And this is an opportunity to tell them, yes. What are the advantages of chanting? We're trying to promote this chanting. What are some of the advantages? We connect with Krishna, we feel some bliss, Connection with God, we feel some happiness, joy, connection, peace, fulfillment, upliftment. These are the things you'll feel. You tell them, isn't it? How many people have been chanting for more than 5 years? Quite a few, quite a few. How many people are chanting for more than 1 year? So many. Okay. So, some days are good, right? Some days are poor, isn't it? Yeah, isn't it? Right? Some days of chanting, it's fine, it's normal. How do you feel when we chant poorly? Any some words that stick up?
Guilt.
Guilt? Anything else?
Depressed.
Depressed? You feel guilty, you feel depressed?
Sad.
Sad? Guilty, depressed, sad? Exhausted? Dragging? Negative? Yeah.
Something is missing.
Something is missing. So guilty, depressed, sad, dragging, something is missing. Now you go on the street and ask you, hey, how do you feel when you chant Hare Krishna? Oh, you should chant. You feel guilty, sad, depressed, negative, you should chant like me. It's not good advertising when we say this thing, right? You feel defeated, non-spiritual, guilty, exhausted, depressed. They're some of the same things, right? Distracted. So if we're going to advertise our product, we better be enjoying it, right? People will see on your face. I was trying to sell this product, but he's not particularly excited about it. So the process of chanting is very simple. Chanting is very simple. But Krishna says something in Bhagavad Gita that's very important. He says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamiham. To the degree someone surrenders unto me. To the degree you approach him, to that degree I reciprocate. So Krishna is his holy name. To the degree we approach the holy name with love, affection, attention, focus, respect, to that degree Krishna will reciprocate. It's as simple as that. So the question then comes up is, how dedicated am I to chant? Is Japa. So we know about these 10 offenses. You say Namacharya, who's the Namacharya? Namacharya Shila? Haridas Thakur ki. Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur says about the root of all offenses. Even if one successfully overcomes all the other offenses in chanting, and one is chanting continuously, love of God may not come. One should know that the reason for this is that one is committing the offense known as pramada, or inattention. This is from Harinam Chintamani. Pramada or inattention. It is difficult to avoid all 10 offenses, even to keep track of all 10 offenses, but easier to focus on the root of all offenses, which is what? Inattention. Okay? So then the question is, how do I give full attention? What do you tend to give attention to very naturally?
Something you like.
Yes, exactly.
What will happen soon?
Exactly, something you love. We give attention to something you love, something you like. But what if we don't have love for Krishna? How many people feel they don't have love of Krishna? They don't have it, 100%. Like I don't have 100% love for Krishna. Who feels that I don't have 100% love for Krishna? Only a few. So everybody else is 100%. Good. But for those of us who raise their hand, this is for good. We can do things that show that we are genuinely interested in developing this love. We genuinely what?
Interested.
We have to prove to Krishna that we are interested. That's all. Our whole project in this whole life is to prove to Krishna, my Lord, I'm interested in you. Does my body language reflect that? Do my words reflect it? Do my actions reflect it? Does my attitude reflect that I'm really interested? That's all we have to do. Okay? So that's our project for today. We're going to learn how to prove that we are interested. Okay, that's it. That's it. And we do it through the medium of Japa. Japa chanting. Japa chanting. Okay. Alright, anybody know what you're saying here?
True.
Yeah, this is a temple. In which area? Which part of India?
Tamil Nadu.
South India, right? South India, and this is Sri Lankan temple. It's a complex, right? You see these big towers? And then there's like walls. So, like if you see this big tower, you think that's the temple, right? But that's not the temple. You go inside, there's no deity or anything. It's massive. What is that tower? What's it called?
Go.
Gopuram. Gopuram, Raj Gopuram. Gopuram means actually gate. Then you walk through one gate and then you're like, oh my god, there's another one. There's a wall, there's another wall concentric, and then there's a third one, like one after another. And the actual temple, the little one in the middle, that's the actual temple. Yeah, the golden domed one. Why am I showing you this? This is an analogy of how to perform japa properly. Okay? So we have this thing called the 4 gates to successful japa. Alright? So we're going to pay attention now, what are these 4 gates and how we can improve our japa practice. For those of you who have never done japa before, this is a great opportunity to take notes. And those of you who are doing japa, it's a great opportunity to also take notes. Because you can relate to stuff. So gate number 1, external fundamentals. Fundamentals. Has anybody here heard Srila Prabhupada's japa tape? The recording? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. You heard it? Now in the japa tape, he pauses his japa to give a very important message. Do you know what he said?
Sit properly.
Sit properly. Hare Krishna, Hare. Sit properly. You heard that?
Oh yeah.
Sit properly. Twice. Why would he interrupt his own japa? It's an important thing to do japa, but he interrupts it. That means it's an important message. People are not sitting properly. You're sitting like this, or one leg this way. No, you sit up straight. Sit properly. What are we trying to prove to Krishna? That we are interested. A body language tells a lot about how interested somebody is. Isn't it? When someone comes to visit you, and you put aside what you're doing, and they want to open their heart to you, they say, you know how much the neighbor is bothering them, and you okay, fine, sit down, let's talk, and then you put your sleeves up, you get body square, and you're listening, you put everything else aside, you sit properly, you lean in a little bit. It shows you're interested in helping them or hearing them. But if they come and you're like slouching or you're looking around doing other stuff on your phone, yeah, go on, I'm listening, and you do your own stuff, you talk to the phone while the guy's talking, it doesn't look good, right? Your body language, you say one thing, but your body is saying something else. So your posture affects your mood. Therefore, sit properly. Sit up straight. This is the first thing. Second, wake up early. The early hours of the morning are very conducive to chanting deeply because there's nobody else awake, and it's very nice. The atmosphere is very peaceful, and you can really focus, okay? But you have to sleep early to do that. If you didn't sleep early, then what happens? You just groggy and then it's very hard to concentrate. If you get enough rest, your body's focused, a really magical time. So do that, because we're proving to Krishna what? That we are interested. We do this. Okay? Then, pronunciation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When you develop bad habits to try to do really fast chanting or just slurring, you can hear all kinds of weird stuff coming out instead of Hare Krishna. Isn't it? Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Here, kitty, kitty. It's like trying to call a cat or something. No, it's Hare Krishna. Hey mama, 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 hey, hey. No, Hare Rama. Pronounce clearly. Pronunciation is very important. Okay. Then the environment that you chant in. Environment means the sacred space. If you're going to do say you're studying for an exam, right? Studying for an exam, there's no rule that says you can't study in the middle of a rock concert. You can study anywhere you want. But you're better off studying in a library or a quiet room or something like that, isn't it? So, similarly, there's no hard and fast rule that you have to chant in a sacred, clean place. But you're better off. It improves the chances. So, sacred space means like a temple room like this, or even just some corner of your house that's clean and quiet. Doesn't matter. Maybe a picture of Krishna there, or a poster with a Hare Krishna mantra on it. Doesn't matter what, but some space that's nice. Okay? So these are the externals. So what can we do? Sit properly. We're going to rise early. We're going to pronounce clearly. And we're going to find a sacred space. Right now, this space itself is very sacred because all of us are focused on how to improve our spiritual life. This space has become automatically sacred. So we're going to do a lab exercise now. We're actually going to chant one mantra together, but with all these things. So sit up straight, everybody, please. Sit up straight. Yeah, no slouch. Don't lean on anything. Don't lean. Sit up straight without leaning on something. Okay? It doesn't matter. You sit on a chair, sit on the floor. Doesn't matter. But sit up straight. Keep your spine straight like this, but not too stiff that you're like all tired. Relaxed, but somewhat not too relaxed. Okay? Focus. Pronounce very clearly. We're going to say mantra all together. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Now stop. Imagine you did all your rounds like this. Wouldn't you feel way better? You can chant the same speed that you normally do, the faster speed, no problem. But do it with this. And guess what? You're not going to save more time by slouching. You're going to spend the same amount of time. So might as well do it properly. You'll actually feel energized by doing this. You won't feel exhausted. So when you chant properly with sitting up straight, the mantra energizes you. And your posture is a kind of yoga also. You see? So that the energy flows up and down the spine and you feel like, this is awesome. I can't believe I wasn't doing this all this time. Clarity of chanting, hearing clearly. Okay? So we're going to go over the gates again. The first gate. This is all the first gate, okay, externals. Sit properly, rise early, pronounce clearly, and environment. Gate number 2. A very difficult one. The mind. Very hard, isn't it? So, Krishna consciousness is a culture of absorption of mind. Krishna says, absorb your mind in me, isn't it? We also know that mind is the best friend and the worst enemy, right? Best friend and worst enemy. Who says this? Krishna says it. Mind can be worst enemy and best friend. He says it. We tend to focus on the worst enemy part a lot. We tend to forget that mind is also best friend. You keep whacking the mind, it's the worst enemy. No, you're my best friend too. I'm going to prove it to you that we can control the mind. You're going to prove it to yourself right now. It's possible. Okay? So we'll do a lab exercise now where you're going to sit up straight. You're going to close your eyes. We're going to do meditation, guided meditation. Very quick one. Okay? So everyone close your eyes and try to visualize what I'm saying. You're in your own home, in your kitchen, and you see the refrigerator. And you open the refrigerator door, and you see in there a carton of juice. You take out the juice, you close the door, and you pour half a glass of that juice, and put the carton back in the fridge. Alright? Okay, now you can open your eyes and come back to this room. How many people were not able to visualize the juice? Like you couldn't do it. All of you could do it, isn't it? All of you could do it. Isn't it? So easy. So, my point is, this idea that I can't control my mind is bogus. You just controlled it. You took it exactly where you wanted to be. Especially when something nice like juice. Right? But the Holy Name is also full of juice. It's so much sweet. So we can bring the mind there. The mind does listen to you. If the intelligence is sharpened up, the mind will listen. So we have to work on the intelligence. Mind listens to the intelligence. Okay? How do we align that intelligence? We reflect on the transcendental nature of the Holy Name. My dear mind, this is Krishna coming here. He's God, he can come in any form and he chooses to come in this way. So let's offer him the due respect. And then we turn to Krishna and we fully understand, intellectually at least. My dear Lord, this is for you. I'm doing this for your pleasure. I know you like it when we chant your name. Not for my bliss, which we get bliss incidentally. But my Lord, you are pleased. So if you recognize this is Krishna, and then we make it an offering to Krishna, my Lord, this is for your pleasure. Then what happens? The sense of reward is very deep. You feel a good sense that Krishna is present. Your mind is aligned. Okay? So now, the first gate was what? Fundamental externals, right? And what are those? What are the pieces of that? What are the components?
Sit properly,
properly,
rise early,
rise early,
pronounce
pronounce clearly,
environment.
environment, right? Environment, right? Very good. And now the second one is the mind and intelligence. Mind intellect is that it's the best friend. You can't control it, and you have to remind ourselves with intelligence that this is Krishna here, and then we use that intelligence to pray to the Lord. Okay. So now we have to first get the first gate, and then the second gate, align them together. So we're going to do all of it. We're going to sit properly again. Okay? Pronounce clearly. But now we recognize we're praying to Krishna, or at least, my Lord, this is for you. You understand? And let the mind be absorbed in this idea that Krishna is personally present. Just a theoretical idea, but he's there. Okay? Speak one time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. How does that feel? That feels good, right? Right? Like really nice, isn't it? Remind ourselves, let's keep reminding ourselves, we're not going to save more time by doing poor japa. The amount of time you're going to invest is the same. But you get so much more out of it by doing it properly. And we're just trying to prove one thing. We're trying to prove to Krishna we are interested. That's it. If we can prove to Krishna that we're interested in him, Krishna will do everything else. He will take care of everything else, but he's not convinced we're interested by looking at our behavior. Okay? First gate, external fundamentals. Second gate, the mind. The third gate is an interesting one. It's the gate of the heart space, the feelings, the emotions. That also we have to offer to Krishna. Japa with feeling. Say it with feeling, right? Now this can be a little bit hard, isn't it? Like how can I just bring about a feeling? It's not like we're acting. Okay, I can show anger on the stage, I can show affection on the stage, but now am I really feeling it? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always started with great feeling, always tears. He wanted us to do it that way. Feeling is very important. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, the name is heart deep, not lip deep. Just because it's on the lips doesn't mean that's the name. Only if the heart is engaged, meaning the feelings are engaged, does it really count. Wow. Bhakti Vinod Thakur also says, Namakhar bahir hoy, nama nahi hoy. Nama akshar. Akshar means the letters. Bahir hoy is the external. Nama nahi hoy. It is not the name. So he has a very high standard of what it means to be the name. Vrindavan Das Thakur. Who knows what book Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote? Very famous book, big one. Chaitanya? Correct. That's right. It's the first biography. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vrindavan Das Thakur, he wrote this. Bhakti means crying while remembering Krishna's name. He's defining bhakti like this. How does he define it? Means what? Crying while remembering Krishna's name. Just think about it. If we actually realize how much mercy Krishna has given us in His holy name by being available in His holy name, we wouldn't stop crying. But we don't really, it doesn't hit us. That's okay. It'll hit us eventually. But we can pray that it hits us. We can pray for that. We can pray for that feeling. Krishna himself says in Adi Purana, very famous, he says, I am purchased by one who sings my name and cries before me, not by anyone else. We want to purchase Krishna. We want Krishna to be ours. You won't purchase something that you're not interested in. So to prove that we are interested. That's correct. Right. Adi Purana, he says, I am purchased by one who sings my name and cries. The crying name, yes. Little kid wants something, very little kid. They cry sometimes, I want it. I want it. And then we grow up and we stop crying. That's good. Don't cry for those things. But we should learn to cry for the right things. The soul is actually crying. We're slowly dying inside because of separation from Krishna. At least we can cry that we're feeling separation. We can cry that we're not feeling anything. That's also a feeling. Love of God is very rare. It's very difficult to get love. It's like, but it's deep in our heart. It's our birthright. It's who we actually are. We're made of love of God, but it's so covered by layers and layers of selfishness. We have to remove one by one. Okay? So love is there, but it's very hard to reach. So this gate 3, right? Heartfelt japa feeling. These are stepping stones. Okay, say we are here, right? We're standing here, and we want to reach that last rock. We can't jump. We cannot jump over the last rock. We don't have that much strength. That last rock is love of God. So, what we can do though is we can access love through these intermediate rocks here. So there are other love adjacent feelings that are more accessible to us. Love may not be accessible immediately, but love adjacent feelings are available to us. What are these love adjacent feelings that we can immediately access? One example is gratitude. If we can infuse our consciousness with a sense of gratitude, a sense of thanks. Thank you, my Lord, you've given me such great opportunities. We'll start feeling a little bit of that love trickling. That's how it starts. You know, we watch movies and there's fall in love head over heels within one moment. It doesn't happen with love of God like that, typically. The love starts trickling in if we access things that are more reachable, like gratitude. What are some things that we can be thankful for? Yes?
Great parents.
Great parents. I thought you said great and parents. Greats are also thankful and parents, yes. Very good. Great parents. Yes. Parents. Your parents must be really great. Yes. You should always be thankful.
Being under a roof with where the name of Krishna is chanted a lot.
Yeah, to be in a place with the name of Krishna chanted, we should be grateful because not everybody has that kind of space. Yes.
Devotee association.
What's that?
Devotee association.
Devotee association, yes. Be grateful, yes, Guru.
Born in a heredity, where our ancestors are completely, their roots are from this bhajan, satsang.
Yes, to be born in a tradition or born in a lineage where grandfather, father, like I know this one family, this one devotee, he comes from a long line of men who are priests in the Krishna temple, like his great-grandfather all the way, and he's also like a priest over here. Like I come from a long line of men who had children, for example, but we can be thankful for so many. Yes, lineage. Thankful for devotee association. But if we can really, really thank Krishna for giving us this, it melts the heart, doesn't it? Yes, we can cry for gratitude. Yes.
Senses, I will thank.
Yeah, we have senses, like we have all our senses intact. Not everybody has them. You should be fortunate if you can hear. Not everybody can hear, and so on. There's so many things to be grateful for. Just be grateful that you woke up this morning. There's some people who are not going to wake up. It's unfortunate. So imagine you wake up in the morning. Oh, thank you, Krishna. I woke up this morning. Can you imagine how nice that is? It sounds a little bit weird, but you can imagine how positive that can make you. See, gratitude is a very powerful emotion. You should be grateful every day, not just in November, Thanksgiving. Every day. Another feeling is appreciation. Similar to gratitude, but not exactly. Like we can appreciate how great Krishna is. Krishna, you're artistic. Like, I was really appreciating today when, by the way, my flight just landed this afternoon. Okay? I just came from the East Coast. I woke up at 4 in the morning, so it's a little exhausting. I just landed this afternoon, but as I was landing in San Diego, it was like so beautiful. just you can see the mountains and then coming down the clouds, and I realized Krishna is such an artist. You can appreciate the artistry of the Lord. And then as you come closer and closer, you can see everything gets more refined. And you realize that people in those houses and the people have very sophisticated lives. And inside each human being is such sophisticated mechanisms, like our bodies, how they work, the bones and the muscles and the cells. You look at the cells. A cell is like a city in its sophistication. And we have trillions of them in our body. You can imagine, you can appreciate the genius of Krishna, the artistry of Krishna. You can appreciate and be grateful at the same time. You can appreciate how Krishna moves us, like his hand in our lives. Every one of us has a story of how Krishna gave us Krishna consciousness. And some of them are really, these are all far out stories. Krishna directing our wanderings. We can appreciate that and be grateful. So now you bring that appreciation and gratitude in your japa session while sitting up properly and pronouncing clearly and recognizing Krishna is personally there. How much more rich is going to be a japa? Isn't it? Then there's another powerful emotion that may be a little counterintuitive, but it's very powerful. It's called remorse. You know what remorse means? You know what remorse means?
Sadness?
Yeah, but sad about what? It's sad about being of something specific.
Separation from
No, remorse.
Not getting something.
No, that's not even that.
Something
Yeah,
you did.
made a mistake or something you did.
Something you did.
Something you did or something you didn't do.
Yeah.
My Lord, I wasted my whole life fruitlessly. All these years. I wasted my human life. I should have been worshipping Radha Krishna. But I knowingly, willingly drank poison. Hari Hari Bifale, Janama Gavaya. Manusha Janama Paya, Radha Krishna Na Bhojiya, Janiya Shuniya, Vishakhaya. I didn't worship Radha Krishna. Knowingly, willingly. So this is a bhajan by our acharyas. They're expressing what? Remorse. It's very powerful when you sing these bhajans and cry, Lord, I wasted. Yesterday I didn't chant your name properly. We can cry for that. All these years I didn't chant your name properly. We can cry for that. Remorse is an incredibly powerful emotion that can bring us, accelerate us to the love of God, like nothing else can. But we have to embrace that remorse. Because the ecstasy that comes from connecting with Krishna through our tears is incomparable. And we don't need to show it to anybody else. This is just you and Krishna. These tears are between you and Krishna to share. It's not for anybody else. Yes?
So I have a question.
Yes.
Sometimes remorse can really pull you down and you can't come back up.
That's fine. You'll come back up. No, that's fine. It's actually, if the remorse pulls you down, it's not a bad thing. Because then you're connecting with real feeling. And Krishna will reward you with a great deal of satisfaction, for sure. But the remorse has to be genuine. And you will, then, even if you stay down, you will have reached a next level of Krishna conscious connection. You will have reached a level of what's called gravity, seriousness. And from that point, you make tremendous progress. Because you're working from a space of real feeling. It's powerful. Yes. You should not be afraid to be sorry. Because remorse means you apologize. Only the most toxic people won't apologize. The sign of toxic leaders are those leaders who don't apologize for their mistakes. No, I'm perfect. Remorse breaks that down and makes us very humble. And humility wins the heart of Krishna. Humility is one of the components of surrender. Did you know that? Krishna says, Sarva dharman paritijya mamekam sharanam vraja. Which verse is that? 18? 60? 66. 1866. It's like the most famous, most quoted verse. Sharanam means what? Sharanagati. Sharanagati means what? Surrender. And surrender has how many components? 6. Anybody know them? Yeah? Dainya, Atma Nivedana, like that. There's a list of them. Dainya is the first one. Dainya means humility. Genuine humility will come from recognizing our mistakes. And you may feel down, like you're saying you feel down, right? But after a while you feel good because you recognize your mistakes, you acknowledge, you own them. When you own your mistakes, you don't make them again. That's why remorse is very good, but it has to be done in a healthy way. How to do it? Acharya has written many bhajans that express this. You can just go in that same spirit. Read the bhajans and sing those bhajans to the Lord. And get into the spirit, my Lord, I also wasted my life. That's all. We don't need to worry too much. So now, exercise, okay? All 3 gates, we're going to line them. Gate number 1, sit properly, chant clearly, hear clearly. Okay? Gate number 2, understand Krishna is His holy name. He's right here, and you're offering it to Him. Gate number 3, find a feeling you can really latch on to. Gratitude, intense remorse, intense appreciation. Embrace that feeling and offer it like a flower to Krishna. Okay, sit up straight, close your eyes. We're going to chant 1 time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 2 more times.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Take a moment to appreciate the feeling. You can reflect how good it feels when you align everything and give it to Krishna. We are well on our way to try to prove to Krishna that we are interested. That's correct. Interested. Okay. 4 gates. Fundamentals. Gate number 1. Gate number 2 is the mind. Gate number 3 is the heart and emotions. Now gate number 4 is very interesting. See how these gates, they have these door handles? The 4th gate, the handle is on the other side. There's no handle on our side. We have no access to it. There's nothing we can do about it. That's called the gate of mercy. That's correct. Krishna only can open that gate. When we come to that door and knock, only Krishna, if he decides to open it, then only will we have access to Krishna. And he's supremely independent. He may choose not to. And that's fine. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, right? Whether you choose to appear before me or go away from me or embrace me with your rough embrace, I don't care. I'm going to keep coming to you. I'm going to keep running and chanting because you are my Lord. That gate is in His hands. Mercy. What makes us eligible to knock on that door? That's right, exactly. You can't reach that gate unless you've gone through all these others. You see, when you beg the Lord for mercy, the Lord will say, what have you given me? And then you say, my Lord, I've given you everything I have. Therefore give me mercy. We can't even knock on the door if you're still outside the Gopuram. How can you go in the inside temple gate when you're still outside? So basically at this point we're telling Krishna, my Lord, I've given you everything I have. What more can I give you? Please now you give me your mercy. And then we cry at that gate. And Lord, please open the door. I'm here. It's raining outside. It's so cold. And this life is so miserable. And it's not miserable because stuff that happens to me. It's miserable because I'm not connected with you. Because when a devotee is connected with Krishna, no matter what stuff happens to him or her, it doesn't matter. The devotee is happy. That's why we're miserable, actually. So we can cry at that 4th gate. But we can only cry and knock on that gate if we reach that gate. We can only be eligible to reach that gate if we've given Him everything we have. Okay, so we'll chant mantra 2 more times, but this time we can envision ourselves at that last gate, begging for His mercy. Okay? 2 mantras, okay? Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
gate of surrender and the mercy, right? So now, what are the 6 things that are the 6 divisions of surrender? Anukulyasa sankalpa pratikulyasa varjanam rakshishyati iti vishwaso bhoktrita ranam tatha atmanikshepa karpanye shadvidha sharanagati. The 6 divisions of surrender. By the way, if you want to look up this list, you'll find them in that verse. Which verse? 1866. You go to 1866 Bhagavad Gita, you open it, you go to the purport of that verse, Prabhupada lists this thing, okay? Because you're wondering, what is surrender? Well, Prabhupada puts in the purport. Easy to remember where to find it, okay? Acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service. I've highlighted that in yellow for a specific reason. That's what we're doing right now. We want to take everything that's going to be favorable, like sitting up properly. You know, sitting straight is not a requirement, but it's favorable. Waking up early is not a requirement. There are no hard and fast rules, but it is favorable. Chanting clearly is favorable. So when we embrace favorable things, we're doing what? Surrender. It's part of surrender. Rejection of unfavorable things, we give up things that come in the way. We don't eat nonsense foods and drink things that we're not supposed to drink. So that we give up, right? Then we're convinced that Krishna will give us protection. That's important. Avashya rakhive Krishna, Vishwasa palan. Certainly Krishna will protect me. Prahlad Maharaj is a prime example. Acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master, and full self-surrender and humility. Right? These 6 items are the surrender. Okay? So, to summarize, the Lord reciprocates as we surrender. The 4 gifts of successful chanting, we call, the fundamentals. Number 1, the mind, the heart, the emotions, and mercy. Okay? And will the Lord open the gate? Of course He will. Because He's the ocean of mercy. He's supremely merciful. He's supremely merciful. So, in fact, a good chance when you reach that gate's already open. You won't have to knock. Why? Because you've already gone through the first 3, okay? The Lord is waiting, smiling. Wow, He came all this way for me. Nice. Okay, so today we'll make what is called a sankalpa. Sankalpa, you take some water, you don't have to take real water, just imagine. It's a commitment, a promise. So make a promise to ourselves. Just make a promise to ourselves today. Okay, so this is something I wrote up, and you can repeat after me if you like. If you don't like, that's okay. It's a prayer that I wrote, okay? So repeat after me. My dear Lord Krishna.
My dear Lord Krishna.
Today I take the bold step.
Today I take the bold step
Of resolving to make.
A
Quantum leap.
A quantum leap.
In my Japa practice.
In my Japa practice.
I pray to you.
I pray to you
that I can fully commit.
That I can fully commit
to being your devotee.
to being your devotee.
And chant your divine name.
And chant your divine name.
With my full attention and love.
With my full attention and love.
You have given me so much mercy.
You have given me so much mercy.
In the form of Srila Prabhupada's teachings.
In the form of Srila Prabhupada's teachings.
An example for us to follow.
An example for us to follow.
You have given me
You have given me
the association of devotees.
association of devotees.
You have given me
You have given me
opportunities to chant your names.
opportunities to chant your name.
Please let me make progress
Please let me make progress
on the path of pure devotion.
on the path of pure devotion.
The path of prema nam.
The path of prema.
The path of chanting your names with love.
The path of chanting your names with love.
Harinam Sankirtan ki.
Each chant.
Pray something like this.
Praying something.
Right? Now, traditionally this class is taught, actually when I took this, I took it in the form of a seminar many years ago, 2008. It was a 8-day class, full day, 8-day seminar. We spent 2 days on each gate. We just ran through quickly. But you can imagine the impact that seminar can have on your life. And in between the days, we would do 64 rounds. So first day, just sit properly on all the externals and really focus, and we chanted many, many rounds, but applying that. Then the next day you do 64 rounds applying that. Then third day we do second gate. Really get into all the aspects of second gate. And then you chant more rounds, and then you do 64 rounds. So you can imagine the impact that it had. It had such an impact on me that I felt I should share this, at least in a summarized way. But you can understand. Before taking that Japa retreat, Japa was something that came in the way of my life. After the retreat, my life is something that came in the way of my Japa. It really changes everything. And we need to make quantum leap for that. It doesn't change things in the way you will function in the world. No. You'll actually be better in the world. Because you'll be more focused, you'll feel more satisfied, you'll feel more fulfilled. Okay? This is just session 1. Okay, this is session 2. Session 2 is just about sit properly. We just covered session 1. Okay? So this is a 4-session program that we do. Okay, we just kind of get more in depth with it. So what we could do is, let me come up with you tell me, can I go another 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
You can go for a good time, no problem.
Okay.
Do you want to finish how much ever you want?
Sure. Okay, we'll go until no problem. All right.
All 4 sessions go.
Okay, we'll go we'll go as far as we can sit properly. Now when you see the posture changing, then we'll stop. Right? So we already talked about it, sit properly, rise early, pronunciation, and okay. Now this is an important point. Our mood affects our posture, isn't it? Suppose I'm feeling depressed, I'll do like this. Feeling really sad, I'm feeling drained. Once what happened, there's this fellow, he went to a doctor, psychologist. He says, Doc, I'm feeling so down. I can just be sad, I can't think of anything positive, I'm just down all day and night. Doctor looked at him, and the doctor did the same posture, he made the same posture. And then he didn't say anything. The guy's wondering, why is the doctor not saying anything? Like after 2 minutes of silence, the doctor looked up and says, it works! Why it works? I also feel depressed now. If you walk around like this, of course you'll feel depressed. You have no reason to be depressed. The point is that our mood affects our posture, fine. But our posture also affects our mood. If you make it a point to sit properly, just mechanically, you will see it affects your mood. You will feel more focused. That's why teachers tell the students sit properly when they're in class. It does affect you. Look at how Prabhupada sits. And Prabhupada, he's not 16 years old. Okay? He's in his 70s. But he always sat up straight when he's trying to jump. His spine is straight like this. We don't need to pretend like we're 95 years old. Right? And I've seen 95-year-old devotees sit up straight like this. Maybe that's why they're 95, because they've been sitting straight, they live so long. You know? So you can see Japa posture is clearly important to the Prabhupada. So how does the posture look like? Back is straight. But you can see he's not stiff, he's smiling. Okay? Shoulders open. Shoulders don't keep like this close. Keep them slightly open so the energy will flow, you'll feel more relaxed. It's kind of like a shirt on a hanger. See, your body can be, you can feel, you can visualize like that. It's on a hanger. It's relaxed because the shirt is kind of relaxed, but it's on a hanger means it's still straight. Okay? It drops like that. Not too stiff and not too relaxed. So if you relax too much, then you slip into a lower mode. We want to aim for the mode of goodness. Not the mode of passion, but the mode of ignorance. Okay? So you don't get too relaxed. Too relaxed means you fall asleep. There's mode of ignorance. And the neck and spine align, right? So remember, Krishna spends how many verses in the Gita about the modes? Many. If you're familiar with Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spends so much time on the 3 modes. Why? Because it's important to know what is mode of goodness, what is mode of passion. When you're in the mode of goodness, you can make rapid spiritual progress. Mode of goodness is very important. Otherwise, you're about to have a big war, battlefield, and Krishna is explaining to Arjuna some recipes. Don't put too much chilies, don't put too much salt. What kind of philosophy is this? That means it's important. You have limited time, the big battle is going to start, and you talk about recipes. That means it's important. Modes are, understand, the food you eat in what mode. How your attitudes in what mode. Similarly, your chanting is also in good Goodness, passion, ignorance. Some channel is drooling coming out. That's mode of ignorance. Right? Some channel like this. Straight, focused, dedication. That's mode of goodness. And then like, looking around, darting here and there, legs are just like restless, and then can't sit straight for more than a few seconds, gets up, has to read something, open the phone, like all kinds. It's mode of passion. Ignorance is sleepy. Passion is like, can't focus, it's like hyper. That's called passion. But you can see, right? I'm sure we've all done japa in all these modes. Isn't it? The drooling japa. And like all hyper japa. And sometimes focus japa is also there sometimes. We want to maximize mode of goodness. That is ideal. That's why this posture is really important. Okay? Remember, one of the aspects of Saranagati is what? Take up practices that are favorable. Posture in and of itself is not a spiritual thing. There are many people who sit properly, but they don't care for God. We're not those. We're doing the sit properly for a specific reason. We want Krishna. Okay. The modes themselves will not make you Krishna conscious, but goodness will help you offer your Krishna consciousness nicely. Okay? That's important. Prabhupada himself went for daily morning walks. No matter how many time zones he just crossed. And he was traveling a lot. So keeping the body flexible was very important to him. He said, if I don't walk, my body becomes jammed up. If you keep your body a little bit active, it's very good for sitting properly. Otherwise, it's pretty painful to sit properly. Okay? So, we can do simple things. Don't do it right now. But you can do some of these like this, jogging on the spot. Even if you just spend 4 or 5 minutes jogging on the spot, not too intense, just what you can handle, before you do a japa. Right? And then you do some stretching exercises, stretch like that, this way, that way, you turn your arms like this, turn your neck a little bit. 3-4 minutes, but just doing simple things like this, and then you try to sit properly, it'll pay dividends. You'll be amazed. I'm not just making this up. Prabhupada used to do this. I mean, he didn't do so many, but he used to go for a walk a lot. We may not have that much time in our lives, so we can kind of do these simple sattvic exercises and then sit properly. Another thing that is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam is called pranayam. This is Bhagavatam purport, 3rd canto. Prabhupada writes, in Bhagavad Gita it is said that one must practice the breathing exercise abhyasa yoga yuktena. By virtue of these processes of control, the mind cannot wander to external thoughts. Chetasa nanyagamina. Thus, one can fix his mind constantly on the Supreme Personality of Godhead and attain yati, him. This is purport. So he's talking about what now? Yeah? Pranayama. So you can do a few simple pranayama exercises. Is Bhastrika pranayam, bellows breath, Anulom Vilom pranayam, alternate nostril breathing, Kapalbhati pranayam. So this is something bona fide, right? It's in Bhagavatam. Okay? You can do some of these. You can look them up on YouTube or whatever. Do what you can. Don't make a 2-hour exercise out of this. Maybe 5-10 minutes at the most. Right? Okay? It's very helpful. I do it and it really makes a big difference. If you do 5 minutes of stretching and maybe 7-8 minutes of pranayam and then you try to chant, it'll make a big difference. Because now you're doing things that are favorable. And those things are, when you do something favorable, is an aspect of surrender. Sharanagati. Clear? We're not making this stuff up. I'm going to take it from Bhagavatam now. Okay? Practical tip, how to sit properly. So I use this kind of cushion. Get a cushion. Any of these cushions can do, but sometimes there is like a meditation cushion, or you get a little stool like this. What this does, you sit on the edge of it, right? So what this does, it keeps the pelvic plane slightly tilted forward. So like, when you slightly tilt your pelvic plane forward, the spine becomes naturally straight. And very comfortably. You'll be amazed you can sit for 2 hours like this. If you have a cushion, you sit at the edge of the cushion. So get a cushion, see if it works for you, find the angle that works for you, maybe something like that, or you can do it on the edge of a chair even. But find that sweet spot where it's very comfortable to painlessly sit up straight. Makes a lot of difference. Clear? Okay. Then, listen to the sound. Listen also. Now you have to produce the sound and pronounce it clearly, but you also have to listen, you have to hear. Remember, it's chanting and hearing. Listening, right? So, I have found sometimes earplugs work. I can hear myself. I can hear my own sound if I wear earplugs. Some people don't like it. I sometimes wear it, sometimes I don't. Find a quiet place we talked about. Cover the head with light cloth. This is something that Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur used to recommend. Take a light cloth that you can see through, the really light ones, and just cover your head with it. It keeps the sound space in your space. This is just these are optional tips. Okay, if it doesn't work for you, don't do it. Like earplugs don't work for everybody. This thing doesn't work for everyone. It may work for you. Try it if it works. It's optional. Okay. When I chant Japa, you see how there's a corner in the wall here? I face the corner. I sit close to the corner and I face the corner and I put a picture of the holy names, okay, against the two walls like this. I like that because the two walls reflect the sound back to me right away and I'm close to the walls so that I can hear it better. My point I'm trying to make is, are we doing everything it takes to show Krishna that we are interested? I want to hear your name. I want to sit up straight. Krishna will be pleased if you do it sincerely. Okay? Alright, then that was the sit properly session. Okay, any questions or comments at this point? Yes?
What are some practical ways that we could get up early? Because,
Yeah.
A lot of times we come home from work, we have to do something with the kids, and then we have to maybe eat a little something, and now it's 9 o'clock,
Yeah. What are practical ways?
And what do you recommend? What's a good time to wake up?
Yeah, what are
If you
practical ways, right?
Wake up too early, it's not good, and then
Sure.
not early enough.
What are practical ways to wake up early and not be totally exhausted? That's a very good question. And of course, the answer will vary from person to person depending on what kind of job they have and what kind of family obligations, things like that, and also what kind of children they have. It makes a difference. So because the answer will vary, there's no real cut answer, but what we could reflect is pray to the Lord that, my Lord, now I'm trying to show you that I'm interested. Every day for the last year, I haven't woken up earlier than 7:30 in the morning. But now I want to do better than that. I want to try to wake up early, like at least by just before sunrise is a good time. Depending on what that time may vary from, but maybe like 5 o'clock is actually good, not so bad. Ideally 4, because then you can take a shower and everything and you'll be there for Mangalarti, but that might be too much for most people. 4 might be too much for most people. So if you can do 5 and get ready quickly and be in your Japa stance by 5:15 or something like that, that's not bad. Then you can do a few hours, depending on how you're scheduled, how you commute and all that. So, I mean, it's a good question, but it would vary. Also, another thing that makes a difference, quality of sleep makes a difference. Because, we may feel that I need this many hours, but if we can find ways to improve the quality of the depth of sleep, that makes a difference too. I have found the pranayama practice improves quality of sleep because now your oxygen flow is better. And when your oxygen flow is better during your sleep, then every hour of sleep gives you more bang for the buck in terms of healing. So you feel more energized. Another thing that makes you sleep better is cultivating more of goodness at every aspect of our life. Because the quality, we lose sleep usually over mental things. And we stress about things because we are not going about thinking through things in a mode of goodness kind of way. And we work through primarily passion and ignorance when we're grappling with things mentally. But if you approach it with a sense of detachment, more of goodness, my Lord, this is yours to deal with. It's not mine. Ultimately, everything is yours. What can I do? Use your intelligence the best you can. That's why philosophical depth helps a lot. You should not be lazy in studying Krishna conscious philosophy every day. And that'll make you think things more sattvically, more goodness. And that'll give you depth of sleep. Better sleep means you can wake up with more energy, and so on and so forth. Another tip, the hours of sleep you get before midnight are the most healing. So the more hours you can get before midnight, the more energy you get in the morning. That's a general rule of thumb. So if you want to wake up at 4 in the morning, try to get at least 3 hours before midnight, which means 9 o'clock. And it's really hard to sleep at night. But if we can aim for it and try it, I know devotees would really do it. I know there's one devotee who has 2 young boys and everything. He sleeps by 8:30, no matter what. And the boys are knocked out too. They have to be. And it's very strict. So you can depending on how strict you can become in your household and so on, you can do it. And this devotee I've seen when he gives classes is so deep. When he goes, he has a job also, and he works as a director in a hospital and things like that. So he's not a doctor, he just works as a manager. He works very hard. He chants his 16 rounds. He's a very senior devotee. And he's raised 2 boys, they're grown up now. But every day, like after 8:30, I can't give him a phone call because he's knocked out. Somehow he managed to do it. I was very inspired. I can't do it because my schedule, I commute, I go to New York City to work, then I come home by 7:30, I have to eat some dinner and all that, and then I take some phone calls and we deal with ISKCON stuff. But typically I try to sleep by 9:30 myself. So do what you can. Maximize your hours before midnight. Try to be more sattvic in your outlook. Try to be more sattvic in your diet. Okay. Try to be more sattvic in everything. More you have more goodness, the more you'll be able to wake up in the morning. These are some tips I can offer. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I have a pretty good question. The 3 modes you explained, right? The first one is ignorance, goodness, ignorance, and third one is passion. The third one, the way you explained, is more of restless attitude. Like keep on constantly chasing this thing across. Why it is tagged or mapped against passion? Because passion is somewhat always described as something like I'm passionate about something, right? Like deterministic. Why
No.
the third mode is linked to passion?
So, passion is not, see, the word passion is rajoguna. The word passion is described as intense activity. And that intensity is where it's superfluous. Superfluous meaning it's unnecessary to be that active. That's why we call it hyperactive. It's not necessary to be shaking your leg. You see, it's not necessary by the chanting Japa, right?
Yeah.
So that's the mode of passion means too active, not just active. Now, the problem with the word passion is because it has a positive connotation too in normal usage.
Yes.
We are not using in that connotation. The context is different. Mode of passion is necessarily bad because there's no English word that translates from rajogun, that's why we use the mode of passion. But English translation fails us sometimes because we think the passion means this passion. He has a passion for life, he has a passion for his career, he has a passion for studying. No, that's not mode of passion. That just means he's determined. That's different. That's a positive thing.
Does this mean sort of obsessively chasing after something? The
Yeah.
mode of passion.
Yeah, it also depends on when you say obsessive. Because if you are doing something single-pointedly, I just want this and nothing else, that be seen as obsessive. But that's something glorious.
If it's a spiritual
Exactly. Yeah, go.
goal, then it's
Yeah. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana bahushaka hirantasya buddhayo vyavasayinam. Krishna says in 241, he says that in this path, the successful people's focus is resolute. There's one. Ekeha kurunandana. Those who are irresolute, their intelligence is many branches. Bahushaka hirantasya buddhayo vyavasayinam. So having many things is not a great thing. Having many goals. One goal. Some may say it's obsessive. So it depends on what your goal is.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you said once you accept the
that you've done the mistake, like the feeling of acceptance and owning your mistake, then you won't do it. But sometimes we do it again.
Yes. But when you own it, it helps. When you own it, it helps. It may not guarantee you won't do it, but it'll help reduce the probability that you won't do it.
So is there any breakthrough, like any tip you can give, like what has worked for you that, okay, this doesn't work for me, I'm not gonna do it again? What stops you?
What stops?
Like from making that mistake again?
Repeating the mistake.
What is the key to success to avoid making mistakes? Is that what you're saying? To repeat the mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. It depends on what you're trying to do. Typically, this kind of thing is about breaking a habit, bad habit.
Correct.
It's not just a mistake, it's a habit that's hard to kick. And habits sometimes can be very difficult to remove because they're deep, they come from a place of irrational, visceral kind of reaction that I can't help myself. Arjuna asked Krishna this very same question. He says, my Lord, by what is it that one is impelled to act even against his own will? Knowing very well I shouldn't be doing this, still he does it.
Yeah.
He asks in 3rd chapter. And then Krishna gives a very famous answer. He says, does anybody know what he says? Kama esha, krodha esha, rajo guna samudbhava, mahashano mahapapma, vidyenam iha vairinam. He says, Kama esha, krodha esha. It is lust alone. Now here, lust doesn't just mean the standard definition of lust, but it means an intense desire to be selfish. Whatever that may be. Kama esha, krodha esha. And it's so intense, it transforms into krodha, wrath, anger. And where does it come from? Rajo guna samudbhava. It is born from the mode of passion. You see? Now, mahashano, mahapapma, it's greatly sinful. Vidyenam, you should know this to be a sinful enemy. Vairinam, vairi means enemy. So it's very strong words Krishna uses. So your question you ask is not about kicking a small habit. It is the root of our very challenge in our material existence. Vidyenam iha vairinam. So how do you uproot that? See? So Krishna gives some clues. He says, Rajoguna samudbhava. The modes that we have acquired through many lifetimes, they rule us. They propel us to do things even against our will. So someone who is predominantly mode of passion will do stuff that are mode of passion. So to change our mode profile, we all have a profile. It's like a color. 3 modes, like 3 colors, and you mix them, you get a prominent color. So some person may be prominently red, some person prominently blue, someone is green, like that. Not the skin, but inside, the mode. Right? So to undo that requires a great deal of effort. You have to shift the modes, almost mechanically. So you have to make the mode of goodness more dominant. How do you do that? Ahara shuddhau, sattva shuddhi. You start with ahar. Ahar means what? Food. What is the food? Yes, whatever we eat is food. But also ahar means what we read, what we listen to, what we watch on TV, what kind of gossip we engage with others. This is all ahar. So what we choose, the mode that's predominant in our ahar will become the more predominant in us. But you can't change it like overnight.
Right.
You see? If I need to lose weight, I'm not going to lose weight overnight. I have to change my ahar completely and weight determined. You see? So that's why to shift that requires gradual practice, but it has to be regular and determined practice. You see? So to remove habits is very difficult. To erase habits is very difficult. Right? You write habit, H-A-B-I-T, habit. Right? If you have a habit and you want to remove the habit, you remove H and a bit remains. Isn't it? And then you remove the A, then what? Bit remains. And you remove the B, it still remains. The habits are hard to erase, is what I'm saying. So, but Krishna doesn't say, oh yeah, it's very easy. You can do it. No. Arjuna says, Chanchalahi mana Krishna pramati bhalavati lam tasya ham nigraham ne vayureva suduskaram. It's difficult, more difficult than controlling the wind. Krishna doesn't say, no, it's very easy. He doesn't say that. Krishna says, you're right. It is asamshaya mahabaho. Oh, great armed Arjuna. Certainly it's very difficult. But it is possible with two things. Anybody know what two things he gave? Abhyas and?
Detachment.
Yes. Abhyas and what's the other one? Detachment. Which is Vairagya. Abhyasa and Vairagya. Abhyas means practice and Vairagya means detachment. So we practice and we gradually become detached. So we need to do a whole program of undoing these bad habits, but you can't attack them directly. It starts with our heart. I'll end with this one analogy. This is a traditional Native American analogy. In our hearts, there are two wolves fighting for dominance. There's a good wolf and there's a bad wolf. You've heard this? Yes, this is nice. You've heard this? You know this? Yes. There are two wolves that are fighting for dominance. Good one, bad one. Every now and then they fight. Not every day, all the time. But every now and then they fight. And one of them wins. The bad one wins, or the good one wins. What determines which wolf is going to win? Yeah, but what makes it strong?
What you feed.
Not what you feed. Which one you feed?
Which one you feed?
The one you feed will win. Because it's starving the other fellow. Now, how it works is that in the heart, there's only one feeding bowl. One dog bowl, there's the dog bowl. And if you put food that the good one will eat, the bad one will not touch it. And if you put food that the bad one will eat, the good one will not touch it. So the good one will starve. So we have to put food in the bowl every day that strengthens the good wolf. Now, once the fight starts, that time you cannot throw food at it. It's too late. You understand the point? So you don't wait till the fight starts. You have to keep feeding the good one daily. So when fight happens, the good one wins. You see? Now, what food am I talking about here? This is the food. The morning program. I'll give you another analogy. How many people work in an office? I also work in an office. In your office, is there a vending machine where you put coins or something? Yes. And do they have like nasty things like Kit Kats and things like that? Yeah, it's pretty nasty, right? It's like very unhealthy. We don't touch that. It's gross. Potato chips. And it's like smelly stuff. Okay. But suppose you ate breakfast, nice breakfast, 6:30, 7 in the morning before you went to office. Then, 10 o'clock comes, you look at the vending machine, you don't feel like eating anything from there, right? Because you had a good breakfast. But suppose you skip breakfast that day. All of a sudden the Kit Kat looks pretty nice at 10:30. That's something you never touch. So our soul is anandamaya bhyasa. Our soul is always looking for joy, for bliss, for anand. That's just like the body is looking for breakfast in the morning. To be strong. So if our soul has been fed and nourished in the morning with ananda, supreme ananda, paramananda, then when you go out in the world, it doesn't look here and there. Where am I finding ananda? It doesn't look because I feel satisfied. Then when they're faced with the Kit Kats of the world, the soul doesn't care because they're not hungry anymore. So we have to feed daily in the morning. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Then you will not find yourself hitting up the vending machines of the world, because the world cannot give us what Hare Krishna gives us. Because this is what we're thirsting for. But when we don't have the real good breakfast, then we look for the alternate so-called foods, which are not even really foods, just processed junk, right? And it appears to be food. They're food-like products. They're very bad for you, and they're expensive, and they're expensive for your health also. But that's what the world is constantly offering us, a nice package. So we say, give me a break. Don't break me a piece of that Kit Kat bar, right? I don't want that. I want Krishna. But we cannot just say that at 10:30 when you missed your breakfast. So the habit has to change. Then when the wolves fight, the good one always win because you fed the wolf in the morning, the right one. You fed the right wolf. You got to starve the bad wolf. You don't throw food during the fight. At that point, it's too late. That's why habits are important. Sattvic lifestyle is important. Sattvic association is important. Associating with progressive devotee is important. And avoiding anti-progressive attitudes is also important. You know, stay away from negative gossip of other devotees and things like that. That will bring us down also. Because then we may associate, this is also Krishna consciousness. So that's also important. That's all different seminar. But for now, try to be progressive in your Krishna consciousness. Be as sattvic as possible in your diet, in what you take in into your face, including what you see, what you hear, what you think about, what you read, and so on. Okay? And associate with the right devotees. Associate deeply with Srila Prabhupada by reading the books. Do not be lazy in reading Prabhupada books.
Hare Krishna, I have a question.
Yes.
There are many mantras, with some with Om, some without Om. What's the difference between them and why is it so?
Yes. There are many mantras, some with Om, some without Om. Why is it so? What's the difference? So, in today's verse, the Bhagavad Gita verse, remember the verse? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna actually says, Nice. Viramasmyekam aksharam. That is what? The syllable Om. Right? He says that. So the Om syllable is actually Krishna himself. Om means Krishna.
Yeah, we are not talking like, he's saying in Elephantala I am I Raval, in Bluetooth I am this.
Yes.
We are specifically talking about the energies of the mantras. So there are some mantras which has Om, some are not.
Yes.
Why is it so? What's the difference? And
Yes.
why it has been originated that way?
Yes.
What's the depth of it?
Sure. There's a lot of technicality around that one. Om is a seed letter also. Are you familiar with the seed letter concept? So seed letter opens up certain energies.
Exactly.
Now, the Hare Krishna, we call it Mahamantra. In the technical definition of mantra, it is not a mantra. You see, mantras have different definitions. In one definition of mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not a mantra. Certain mantras are meant to be recited in secret and they're given secretly to guru, to disciples, right? Hare Krishna is not one of them.
Yeah, there are some Mahamantras and some,
Yes.
there are only the countings are there. Those are called Mahamantras, other are called mantras. So we are talking specific about this.
Yes, so this Om, yeah. So, say for example, there's Gayatri mantras that are given by the guru.
Yes, and 24, and how many times you say, oh, that becomes more and more
Sure.
and more.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
So,
we are.
yeah. So the point is that that's this whole very deep discussion it's a very technical discussion, not so pertinent to this particular context. However, one thing is for sure, is that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is categorically different. It doesn't have Om in it, but because it has Krishna, and Om is Krishna's representation, all the potencies of Om are built into the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Yeah, let us say this is a name, it's a Nama Mantra.
Yes,
Hare Krishna is
yes.
a Nama Mantra.
That's right.
Okay, fine, it has this different potential, it has its own energy. I'm not talking about that particular one. I'm talking about when today's topic is mantra. We started it from the mantra. Even though we picked up the verse, what Krishna is saying in this chapter, the verse. But today's topic is mantra. So want to go into the depth, as you said, we have to sit and talk it in person.
Yeah.
So I think, that way.
So according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the main mantra for this age of Kali is Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Yeah, and it is originated, first it was given to Narada from the Supreme Source. Right?
Yeah, this I'll tell you one secret about this mantra.
Yeah, sources are there of the mantra.
This mantra is an eternal mantra. Hare Krishna mantra was never a time it didn't exist. This mantra, it comes from spiritual world. Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtan. It is the wealth of Goloka.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
So therefore, this Mahamantra is actually greater than all the Omkar mantras also. It is. Because, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, Mahamantras are, okay.
No, not Mahamantra. This mantra particularly. No other mantra is greater than Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And I'll tell you why.
There are 4 or 5 mantras.
Yeah, no, I'm saying they may be called,
Yeah.
but there's a reason why Hare Krishna Mahamantra for age of Kali is the only one that has the, I'll tell you, there's an Upanishad called Kali Santaran Upanishad. Upanishad written just for Kali Yuga.
Yeah.
And that is where this mantra is found. The whole mantra is given, and he said, Iti Shorash Namnam Kali Kalmashanashanam. These 16 names, if uttered in this particular sequence, reverses all the bad effects of Kali Yuga. So if you are in Kali Yuga, this is really the only mantra that's worth having. Other mantras may be good for other yugas, fine. But for Kali Yuga, in the Kali Santaran Upanishad, this is the prescribed mantra. Now, even if you forget about Kali Yuga, Hare means what? Yes, what is it? Who is being addressed when you say Hare? That's correct. That's right. It's a person. Radha is the energy. She's a person. Now, do you know what mantra Radharani chants in Goloka? This mantra has 16 names also. I'll tell you. Listen carefully. Radharani chants this mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Yes. Even Radharani chants this mantra. Now, why was she calling herself? Yes.
Because Krishna wants her to.
No. It's a good one though. It's a good one. That's correct. Actually, it's somewhat correct.
Because Krishna loves her the most.
No, because I'll give you the inside reason. When you call out to Hara, you say Hare. Like if you want to call out to Sita, you say Site. You want to call out to Radha, you say Radhe. Right? You want to call out to Hara, Hara is the name of Radharani. You say Hare, it means come. Radhe. Right? When you want to call to Hari, you say Hare. Yeah? You understand? That's the sweetness magic of Sanskrit. Is when you want to call out Hara, you say Hare. If you want to call Hari, you say Hare. Hare Murare. So when Radharani says Hare, she's calling Hari. Now you know. You see. Why do you have 108 beads? The 108 gopis. The beads represent the circle of Rasa dance. So you approach the beads with that respect that you're approaching Rasa dance. And then you accept them and then you chant that each bead is a primary gopi, the dancing circle. So this process is very intimate. The mantra is so intimate, Radharani chants it. It is so powerful, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chants it and he floods the world with it. It is so powerful, it changes hippies to happies. It's so powerful, it makes all of us here sit here listening to this one guy from East Coast just going on and on. Why? Because the mantra is of magic. You see? That's all. Yes.
And I have one question, Prabhu. So, I did Avanyavatam, so
Sorry?
I mean Avanyavatam where like I'm supposed to do 3 times Sandhya Vandanam.
Yes.
Where I need to chant at least minimum 18, maximum 108 Gayatri Japam, morning, noon and evening.
So we have the same thing. In Islam.
It's
Same
fun.
thing.
Okay.
Similar.
And now the fact is, I'm not proper. I didn't do, I used to do proper all 3 times before. And at least recently I'm properly doing in the evening. Sometimes I'm used in the morning and noon. And my understanding is that if I'm not doing all 3 times, whatever things I do, may it be puja, offering or whatever I do, like that will not reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's the reason even on a special occasion like any other puja like Diwali or any additional puja I'm doing at home, at least on the day I really make sure I do Sandhya Vandanam on that day. Otherwise everything go for waste. That's what my understanding is. Now my question, this is a context. Now my question is it like if I want to chant Hare Rama Hare Krishna, like sometimes I feel like first I didn't do even Sandhya Vandanam 3 times today. That's a very basic, like a food. And then now, what to prioritize, kind of confusion. So how do you correlate these, Gayatri Japam, which is kind of a minimum thing I'm expected to do, compared to Hare Krishna Japam every day? I'm trying to do both, but it's always easy to say I'll do everything and do nothing.
So in our Krishna conscious tradition, we also have Gayatri. And that is given at the Brahminical initiation. It is the Brahmin thread. Yes. Because initiation in the year, we are given 7 Gayatris, 7 different ones. Those are secret mantras. and we're supposed to chant. In fact, in the morning we sing. Dhyayam stuvam stasya yashas tri sandhyam.
Sandhyam.
So this sandhya vandana we talk about tri sandhyam. Sandhya means what?
The transition
Big
of the
time.
Transition, exactly. Sandhya means where two things are joined together. It's a joint. Sandhya. Right? Sandhi, we say in Sanskrit. Sandhi is two things connection basically. So when day connects to night, this is this time Sandhya. When night connects to day, it's the morning Sandhya. And then when the morning connects to afternoon, that's the noon Sandhya. So you get three Sandhya. So now we pray to the spiritual master in the morning. And the part of that prayer says, Dhyayam stuvam stasya yashas tri sandhyam. My dear spiritual master, I connect with you at least 3 times a day in a formal context. And that is with the Gayatri Mantra. We're going to trance. And we are reaffirming our formal commitment to spiritual life by doing Sandhya Vandana. Because that's important. Why Sandhya? Because then it gives a good pace that not too long time goes by without you connecting with God. That's it. Okay, that's the whole point of Sandhya Vandana. Okay. Now, it is so important to maintain Sandhya Vandana because it's a formal commitment. And if we keep breaking the Sandhya Vandana, then it's like other things become fruitless. Why? Because your main thing is your formal commitment. You see, it's like marriage. Marriage is formal commitment. You see, so you have to stay committed to marriage. Similarly, Sandhya Vandana is a formal commitment to God. So you perform your duties, and it's given that, okay, if the other things, offerings you do, if you've taken the formal commitment, first do that. The other things are like less important, or they won't have fruit. So that's important. However, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is categorically different from all this. It is so much higher than all this, including Gayatri, including Sandhya Vandana, everything. Why? Because it connects directly with God. And Krishna Mahaprabhu himself comes and says, Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Saktish Tatrar Pita Niyamata Smarane Nakala, which means there are no hard and fast rules. You don't even have to brush your teeth or take a shower, you can chant Hare Krishna. Of course, you should brush your teeth, take a shower in general, but I'm just saying, like there's no, you can chant anywhere, you don't need to take initiation, you don't need to be born in such a family, nothing. You can just chant, you can be somewhere in the ditch. You know, if someone is just drunk and he just chants, he get benefits. Someone is drunk and fall in the ditch and someone tells him, this happened once. There was a man who was a devotee for many years, and then somehow, for whatever reason, he left the devotional practice. And he took to bad habits. But he maintained his kusima, he kept it on. And he grew a beard and everything like that, and became drunkard, became like, the drunken bums who was homeless and all that. Anytime he put some money, he would just buy some drugs and things like that. And one time, he was fallen in a ditch, and he was very sick and he was drunk and he was about to die. And once the cop saw him. The cop knew this guy. The cop doesn't know much about devotee, but he knows a little bit. He said, "Oh," he saw this, "Chant Hare Krishna, you fool, you're going to die." The cop himself not a devotee, but he knows these people are supposed to chant, and he felt bad for this fellow. "Chant Hare Krishna, you fool, you're going to die." He slapped him. The guy chanted and he died. So you can imagine. Now, that person, you think, obviously he'll be something good in his next life. So, see, all the chanting he did before, it comes back. Even in the most fallen condition, that chanting he did in the last moment was powerful. It's effective. He doesn't have to take initiation, doesn't have to do Sandhya Vandana, nothing. It is very powerful. Same thing with the story of Ajamil. Ajamil's story, He had done so many bountiful things. But he chanted Narayana. So, the power of the name is way higher than all these other mantras like Gayatri. You cannot even compare. It's an offense to compare them. It's one of the 10 offenses, by the way. To put Mahamantra in the same category as these other mantras is offense. All these things help us connect with the mantra, Mahamantra.
Thank you. So no need to feel guilty that I
No.
don't do Sandhya Vandana, I'm doing that.
If you don't chant Hare Krishna, you should feel guilty. You should feel guilty of the other ones also. Little less guilt, not so much. Thank you so much.
And then,
Yes, ask me a question back there.
So, first of all, thanks for coming here. It was excellent class. So I have a question. I've been thinking about this for some time. So the Shastra says that Krishna is absolute, and so is his name is absolute. And we also hear Ajamila story, where unwillingly he chants and then he gets a blessing. And also in the Madhya Leela, I think, Swadas Thakur says, even if you utter 2 words that has ha and ri and another word, you will still get a blessing. Then why would there be an offense when you chant?
Yes, very good question. Ajamil chanted, and it is said he chanted offenselessly.
Unwillingly he is calling, yes.
No, because he said he chanted offenselessly. Because he didn't do it as if he's pretending to be devotee and he's not, He chanted with a lot of feeling.
He called his son, no? The younger
He
one.
called his son, but he chanted with a lot of feeling.
Yeah, yes, true.
Also another thing to note, Ajamil did not go back to God at that moment.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
So that Nama Bhas may not be enough to give you full love of Godhead, but he got a second chance. See, that's important.
So the intention is very important.
Intention is important. Intention is important. But Nama Bhas means the unintentional effect is also very powerful, is the point of that. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur also explains, similar to Haridas Thakur, that sometimes in the Arab language or the Muslim language they say haram. This is haram. Haram means bad. That guy is a harami. That person gets the benefit of saying Ram. That's how lenient Krishna is. He gives you, some teachers, if you do math, they give you extra credit. They give you partial credit. Krishna is so lenient, he gives you full credit because it looks okay. So he's very lenient. So you say, don't go around saying haram, just say Ram is better. But that's how kind he is. But the point to take from there, the kindness to be taken is to deepen your appreciation. Imagine how much more powerful it will be if I did it with love. Think about that. You see, there's a very beautiful prayer by Lord Brahma in the 10th canto, chapter 14. It's worth memorizing. It's very sweet. It goes like this. Esham ghosha nivasinam bhavan kim devarate tina cheto vishva phalat phalam tvadaparam putrakrayan muhiti sadveshadi vaputanapi sakula tvameva deva pita tadhamartha suripriyatmatanaya anashaya spakriti. That's just one verse, very long. He says, my dear Lord Krishna, you have given yourself as a benediction to Putana.
Yes.
For what? Just for disguising herself as a devotee. Just for pretending to be devotee, you gave yourself completely to her. You gave her Golok Vrindavan, where she is now, serving like a mother. What more is left for you to give? You have given yourself, so you have nothing left to give to these other Vrajvasis who have given you their hearts, their soul, everything. You are bankrupt, my Lord. What can you give them? It's an injustice. It's a poetic way of saying, how wonderful. You see, so the point he's trying to make, he's glorifying the Vrajvasis. He's also glorifying the mercy of the Lord. But he's glorifying the Vrajvasis that how much more they will get if you can give that to Putana. Similarly, when we talk about this lenient effect of Nama Bhas, when you say haram, you give them the benefit of chanting Krishna's name. How much more do you give to these young girls here who are trying to chant and sit properly? I mean, really, they're trying to chant and sit properly. I mean, how much more they will get than the other guy who's saying harami? Much more. Similarly, how much more these Vrajvasis are going to get if you can give that to Putana? Just for pretending. Sadveshadiva Putana is just for your dressed Sadvesh. And not just Putana. Putana and the brothers and everybody. Family discount. Bakasur and everybody. He got it because Putana is related to. You see. So, the glories of Krishna's kindness are unlimited. You see. And these kind of things that tell us that Nama Bhas gives you so much, then what is the point of doing high quality japa? That's not the point of this analogy. The point is, imagine how much more you get when you do high quality japa. Imagine how much you'll be moved. Namapas will give you liberation. But high quality japa will give you something much more. Prem, love of God, which is very, very difficult to get. The only purushartha worth fighting for, worth working for is prem. You know what are purusharthas? 4 purusharthas? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. These are 4 purusharthas. Out of these 4 purusharthas, which one? Dharma means religiosity, religious things, you do yagyas and things like that. Right? And when you do religiosity, then you get Artha. Artha means money. With money, what do? Kama, buy things that you enjoy. And then you get moksha. Moksha means relief. Liberation.
Moksha comes from the kripa, not the part of these 3.
Yeah.
3 are along with each other, but
yes, but but all 4 are together. Why? And all 4 are rejected in Krishna consciousness. Did you know that? All 4.
And there is a 5th one is there also.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Krishna consciousness 5th.
Yeah, what is the 5th one?
That's towards spiritual.
No. Prem. One word. Prem. Now, why is prem different from these 4? Why is the thumb different from this? What is categorically different about this? Yes.
Yes, Shiva.
Because the 4 are all materialistic, and the 5th one is the only one that
Very good.
is.
Yes.
Because it's like the pure devotion towards Krishna.
That's very good. Yes, why is pure devotion? Yes.
It's you could think of the metaphor as any sane person would do, but only the most advanced, only the people who are beyond the 3 modes, they would have that brain. So it's like a next level.
That's right. Very good. Now, the categorical difference between this and this is that these are all selfish. That's it. We do religiosity because we get money, that's selfish. We'll enjoy selfishly. And I'm sick and tired because nothing is making me happy, therefore I want relief. That is also selfish. Isn't it? Relief, that moksha is also a selfish goal. Prema means, what can I do to please Krishna? If it means to go to hell, I'll go to hell. That is called prema. You see the categorical difference. These are selfish, this is not. And this is the only thing that will make us happy. Prema. I'll end with this verse. This verse encapsulates all of Krishna conscious philosophy in one verse. All philosophy of Krishna conscious, one verse. You should know this verse. It is found in Chaitanya Mat Manjusa, written by Prabhupada Saraswati. Aradhyo Bhagavan Rajesh Tanaya Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Rajavatu Vargenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramana Mamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Vastradarana. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Mata opinion. What is it? Aradhyo Bhagavan Rajesh Tanaya. The only person worthy of worship is Bhagavan Vrajesh Tanaya. Krishna in that particular form of son of Nanda Maharaj. Vrajesh is Nanda Maharaj. Right? Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesh Tanaya. And where does he live? Tadhama Vrindavan. So you have to worship him in that context of Vrindavan. No other place. Tadham Vrindavan. And okay, fine. How do I worship him? Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadhu. The highest, best way to worship Krishna is the way the gopis, Vrajavadhus, worship him. In the footsteps of the gopis. Okay, fine. But how do I understand the philosophy behind all this? It is Srimad Bhagavatam Pramana Mamadam. You want to understand the philosophy? You read Bhagavatam. It is spotless Purana. And okay, what is the highest goal? Prema Pumartho Mahan. Only Pumartha, Purushartha, not these 4. Prem. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam. Tatradara Napara. There is no other opinion beyond this. So if you know this, it's very important. So we know we're no longer going to be selfish, including moksha. We don't care for moksha anymore. Varam deva moksha, na moksha vadimva. We prayed, isn't it? Namadharashtakam. I don't want moksha. You read it. So we don't care for moksha, isn't it? We don't care for that purushartha either. I mean, we know we don't care for it. Isn't it? We just care for. But may the Lord's vision of Balagopal be in my heart. That is called praying. Very good. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much for inviting me. We will continue. I think it's going to be a sequel to this because there's a lot more to cover on this material. Okay? Hare Krishna. All right.